That's me singing. That's me. I'm singing
It's
fishy
catchy.
jerks. Fishy
It is.
jerks. Hi, Blake.
Hey, Rico.
It's good to see you, buddy. All right, let's do this. So again, for people that are new here, this is gonna be a 2-hour stream. The whole first hour, Blake and I are gonna have a conversation. We're not even gonna be able to see the chat. We're not gonna be looking at it at all. So if somebody comes in and says hi or something, we're gonna miss it. The second half, though, you guys can ask questions of Blake. And is Tara available too by chance? Is she around?
No, she's upstairs.
Because I know that Annette is already saying where is it Tara or Tara?
Tara.
Tara. Okay. All right. So she's already asking. So
I'm sure she'll be on at some point in the chat.
Okay. All right. Just to make sure we, she might be hit up with some questions as well. If she's going to be here. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah.
Real quick, a few quick little bits of information. Our friend Roxanne, Foxy's Fishes, Roxanne. She's monetized. She has memberships. They're open. You can go join her memberships. She just got monetized. So huge news. If you want to go do it, she's got a bunch of different levels from $1.99 to top end. I don't remember how much, but she's got memberships, people. So if you want to go support her in a monetary fashion, now's the time to do it. And remember, Thursday, Hot Mess Express, the goal is to make her cry tears of joy, but we're going to make her cry and try and, do what we can to show her our love since she finally got monetized. Deb, as a lot of you know, Deb is from the UK. Deb's, what'd she change her channel name to? I forgot. Deb's grandson is having some health issues and needed some special, they call it a cot, but a special medical bed. And the GoFundMe was successful. They hit their goal and they got that. So, and that's coming from almost entirely from you guys in the community. So that's amazing. And the last thing is this guy right here, Mr. Eric Wyrock, is he's having a little bit of a rough time. So if you guys have a way to contact Eric, reach out to him and just let him know you're thinking about him. He's having some back issues, but he's having some other stuff too going on. So make sure you hit him up and just let him know. He's a great guy. He's a big part of the community. So please reach out to him if you can and just say hi. Just let him know you're thinking about him. Okay. We're going to get rid of the chat. It's gone. I can't even see it. And let's get started. All right.
What's going on with your name right there? I'm trying. Is it from something? Is it a reference or?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change that. It's from D&D. Well, the top part's from Dungeons and Dragons.
I was just sitting here cracking up, like I don't know what this is from.
The bottom part is "Werewolves in London," the song from Warren Zevon. I absolutely love that line from the song because it's a very little. It's "Werewolves in London." You never heard that song? It's from the 70s, so I'm an older person. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. The way he sings it, it just always stuck with me because it's so lotta. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. It's just
Gotcha.
I love it. I know every once in a while I just try to put something random in there so that people do exactly like you just did and ask what that means. So, all right, Blake. First of all, you are what? Let's see. You are heavily involved in the Pennsylvania fish clubs. I always forget what's your role. You're in two different clubs, right? And you have a role in both of them. So tell us what your roles are first in those clubs.
So I'm the president of the Cichlid Club of York, and then I'm just a member of the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County that Scotty's the president of.
Okay. I never can keep this stuff straight for some reason. I don't know why.
We got a lot of clubs up here and a lot of people involved, so it's easy to get confused.
Even in YouTube, there is a ton of Pennsylvania people. The state is quite populous, but you guys are definitely well represented within our community for sure.
And just our location alone, just like because we're at, you hit the Jersey, you got Philly, Delaware is pretty heavily active. So right in this little tri-state area, it's really, really populated with fish people.
Yeah. And you are also on the Keystone Clash committee, correct?
Yep, I am I guess assistant co-chair is my title, and I'm also the sponsors and vendors coordinator, I guess you would call it.
Okay.
Like reaching out and try to bring in sponsorships and
Yeah,
whatnot.
I know how that works. I know I've done a little bit of that. And I love the Clash. I absolutely love the Clash. This will be my third year going. That's where I met you. I think 2 years ago, I actually talked to you, but didn't really meet. We didn't really hang out. But last year we hung out a
Right.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely love going to the Clash. It's coming up the last week in September, September 23rd.
22nd through the 24th, I believe it is.
Okay. It's Morgantown, Pennsylvania. It's a great event. It's a huge fish show, and there's a lot of vendors. But for me personally, the big attraction is meeting all of the people from the community. Because last year there was about 60, 65 of us. This year I think there's going to be about 100 of us just from our community here.
Oh, wow.
I'm really looking forward to it. And I had a lot of fun. Okay, that's enough about the fishy stuff. So what do you do for a living?
I work at, I don't know if you might have heard of Pello Windows and Doors. We have a plant about 20 minutes away from us. I'm a lead there for 2 of the departments.
Okay. So is it vinyl? You make vinyl windows and you do the whole door and everything. So they're delivered to the job site. It's already framed and everything.
Yep. We put the whole frame together, glass in and everything, package it up and send it out wherever it's going.
You get discounts on that?
We employees get 45%, but you don't get any warranty. You don't get any installation or anything like that. So honestly, you make out better going to Lowe's when it's 50% off. A lot of times they'll include your installation.
Yeah. Because I have 31 windows I have to replace.
Oh, so, don't go through Pella, dude. It's way too expensive. I would never buy a Pella window. Even with my discount, it's cheaper to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not that picky either. I'll go Anderson or I'll go whatever. I'm not too picky, but yeah, they're all single pane windows. We've only replaced one. We have 32 windows in this, and it's not even a big house. It's a 1,500 square foot ranch with a walk-in basement. So it has windows there too, but it's not a big house. It's just all windows. It's just,
right.
I love it though. The whole front of the house is just all windows. So how long have you worked there?
I'm going on 7 years now.
Wow. Okay. And did you start on a construction line, or what's what I'm looking for? Did you start making the stuff, or how did you?
Yep, I started as a machine operator. I did that for about 5 years. Then I went to the shipping department, got a forklift license. Drove forklift for about a year, and now I'm going on a year into the lead position now. So worked my way up over the past couple of years, see different aspects of the whole manufacturing process.
Gotcha. And so what does your job really entail? Just making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be and everything's working correctly and everything's flowing. Is that really what you do now?
Pretty much, yeah. The areas that I cover are what we would consider some of the specialty areas. So like you have some lines that they call them like stock lines. They'll build 200, 300, 400 of the same unit all day, every day, just roll with that. Whereas my stuff is all made to order. So everything, there's so many variables, a lot of custom stuff. So it's a lot of sequencing stuff in the right order. And the one area I do, they call it accessories, but it's really like a warranty department. If something comes out damaged, we got to take care of all the replacement parts and sending out, if your glass is broken, send out your new glass. It's a lot of different variables, but I like that. It's not boring. There's always something to do.
Yeah. Gotcha. And so it's 7 years total so far.
Yep.
And do you see yourself being there another 7?
God, I hope not. It's one of those jobs. It's like, I mean, it pays decent. I'm good at it. I'm comfortable with it because I've been doing it so long, but it's not fulfilling. You know what I mean? Like you're just kind of going into a factory every day, coming out. You're not really getting anything out of it on a personal level.
Yeah. I think the good thing about a place like that though, is you probably don't bring a lot of work home with you.
Oh God, no. Definitely not.
You walk out the door and your day is done.
Yep, that is definitely nice. Just leave it all at the door and come back in the next day and pick it back up.
Yeah, that's priceless because I definitely have jobs where it's a constant. You're just either on call all the time or you're just always thinking about work or trying to figure out something. And so that is nice.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't like that. Oh, that's my wife's does it. She recently took on a management position a while ago, and all the time, her work phone going off after hours and everything, and on the weekends having to make sure all people have all their time stuff. And I'm like, dude, forget that.
Yeah, that does. That's so. And where does she work? If you don't, I mean, if you don't want to answer, that's okay.
No, that's totally fine. She works at a company. It's called Typical Life Corporation. She actually works with it's adults with mental disabilities.
Oh, okay.
So she actually worked in actually at this point, most of their different areas. They're a residential department, which is like really low functioning individuals that live in like group homes. So she did that. She worked in their day program. People basically, it's like school for adults. Basically, they come, they do different life skills, and then she did another program where she actually goes out in the community with them, and like the higher functioning people, like helps them like go to the store, teach them how to like interact with other people, do transactions.
Gotcha.
But now she's managing that aspect of it with like the going out in the public and learning that stuff. Yeah, she's been all over, but I could never do her job.
No, that takes a special kind of person. But if you can do it, it sounds like it's really fulfilling, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she definitely loves what she does.
Gotcha. How long has she been doing that?
She's been doing that almost as long as I've been where I'm at. So I think she's going on her 6th year there.
How long have you guys been together?
This will be our 10th year together.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Yeah.
10th year of marriage or just 10th year together? Are you married?
We are married. We got married on Halloween of 2020.
Halloween. Is that a big holiday for either one of you? Really? Not.
That's her favorite. That is her deal right there. Halloween. She loves it.
Okay. So now she even has an extra bit to it. My daughter's the same way. Halloween is her holiday by far. Our house is crazy around Halloween time. She just does everything. Absolutely loves it. She has that in common with her. How did you guys meet?
So we've actually known each other majority of our lives. I can never remember how old we were. Probably about 8 years old. My cousin and her mom worked together at if you've ever heard of Utz Quality Foods, like the potato chips.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they worked there, and every year Hershey Park is like the theme park around here. You may have gotten down there, but every year they would rent out a pavilion for the Utz people, and they would send them in to have a day, and then they took both of us, and we met and just connected and stayed friends for a long time. And I was 17, and we just started hanging out. And then one thing led to another. We started dating, and now here we are married.
That's cool. That's a very wholesome story. That's nice. That's a nice story. You know,
nothing crazy like meeting at a bar and all drunk and anything like that. Just
yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there. Not with my current wife. No. Michelle, we knew each other. She was actually dating my best friend for a long time. They broke up, but anyways, it's not about me.
Just swooped on in.
No, it was like 3 years later. We were at a party. It was our birthday weekend. We were at a party together. We hadn't seen each other in 3 years. They had been broken up for 3 years, and I had a very vivid dream about her, like years earlier. And I told a friend about it. I was like, man, I just had the very dream about Michelle, and he's like, really? Sort of weird. It's it's Tom's girlfriend, and years later it came true. So dreams do come true.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so no kids, right?
Not yet, no.
You thinking about it?
So yeah, it's hopefully. So we actually have been going through a lot of like medical stuff to try to like make it happen. If everything goes according to plan this October, we should be able to actually try and hopefully succeed.
Okay, gotcha. October, man. October is going to play a huge. I mean, even though it's when the child maybe is conceived, but still, October's definitely got a huge part of your life.
Yeah.
Shifting gears a little bit, we'll go back to your work and stuff. What other kind of jobs have you done throughout your career? I have no idea how old you are. I'm going to guess you're 27.
Very good. I actually just turned 27 like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know. I swear to God. I wasn't, I don't even use Facebook, even though we're friends on there. I only go on there when somebody tells me there's a message or I need to get a hold of somebody. So I was 100% a guess. So that's pretty damn good. I was, you were talking about when you were 17 and you were together for this amount of time and stuff. So the math actually was sort of. Do you ever watch the TV show Psych?
No, I haven't.
Great show. The guy's a psychic, but he's not really. He's just very observant, and he does all this math and does all kinds of stuff in his head, and that's what I just did. So that was pretty impressive.
That was
I,
impressive.
I impressed myself. All the hell right there. All right, what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, different jobs that you've done. What other kind of jobs have you done?
Yeah. So I started working when I was 12 with my buddy and his uncle. His uncle owned a landscaping company. And I did that till I was about 16. He decided to sell the business. And my cousin's like, well, hey, come work for me. I do construction. It was called like Unique Tile and Marble. He did like granite countertops, various construction projects. I did that for a little while. Ended up going and working at a car wash that was in town. So I did that for about a little over a year. Then I took some time off and graduated high school and was doing college for a little while. And then took a break from that and went to a woodworking company in town called Leicester's Furniture. Did that for a year and then ended up at Pella and been there ever since.
Is there any of those jobs that really stood out as something you really, really enjoyed doing?
Oh, I loved landscaping. Back then I wasn't making much money at all with it. I mean, with them selling the company, it didn't help. But if I could get back into that, making the same making, I would drop what I'm doing in a heartbeat. I loved it. It was great. Yeah.
What was it about it? Just being outside all day, or was it a little bit of creativity involved? And just, what was it that stood out to you?
I like that it was always something different. Like it was always a different house, different project. Like we didn't really get into the mowing. I wouldn't like the mowing aspect of it, but all just planning and making like drive by and say, hey, like I did that to that house. Like, and there's a developer in town and I could drive by a lot of his properties. Like I did that. Like it's just cool. And like I said, something different every day. Like this day you're planting this here, that there, just creating something new. But yeah, I would love to go back to doing that.
You guys should take a vacation and come up here because we could use some help.
A vacation, huh?
Yeah, a vacation. Maybe a working vacation. I've got adult children; they can come do all the actual work. You can just tell them where to put stuff.
Play supervisor.
Yeah, we definitely need some help out there deciding how to do. I want to get rid of my lawn. I want to get rid of it, so I want to put in paths and big bushes and just all kinds of stuff. So. Someday I'm going to get you to come up here someday. You guys are going to come. I live right on Lake Ontario. It's beautiful. We can go out on the boat. We can get in the canoe. We can go fishing if you're into that. I mean, there's all.
I love fishing.
Yeah. So it's right there. So.
I mean, you drive a hard bargain right there. Must have been a salesman at some point.
No, I'm just very insistent. You will do it. We want to build like Jeremy, one of our people in our community, keeps talking about one of those little houses. Put one of those little houses on the back part of the property over here. That would be great. It could be like a little Airbnb, but then cool. It would also be a place for people like you to come stay and
work
on my house.
It seems like a fair trade.
You get a free week, very nice little place, and we'll feed you. And this is gonna happen. You watch. This is gonna happen someday. Like 5 years from now, I'll be going, how the hell did I get roped into this? You watch. So landscaping was really the thing that spoke to you, and you'd like to go back to do. So you guys, your weather, your climate is pretty comparable to ours. Was there stuff that you could do in the wintertime too? Would you plow or something in the winters as just to keep going, or what would you do in the winter? Granted, back then you're young.
Yeah. So wintertime with the construction company, we were able to go inside, do granite countertops, interior work. The landscaping company, we really didn't do a whole lot in the wintertime. He had a couple jobs, like couple shoveling jobs and stuff like different contracts, but most of the time that was pretty quiet. But being that young and living at home, no real responsibility, that didn't really bother me that much.
Yeah. Then you'd have to be out in that snow all the time.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty snowy too. I mean, you're not, we get that lake effect real heavy. But otherwise, you guys are our climates are pretty comparable. They really
I'm sure.
You speaking of that, do you do any outside tubbing or ponds or anything, or are you getting into that? Have you?
Yep, I actually have 5 of them out there now, but only one of them has fish in it so far. I'm waiting for the night temperatures to get a little warm to put some of the other stuff I'd like to try this year, like some of the cichlids.
What do you have out there currently? What fish are out there?
Just a pair of Xenotoka Eiseneye, the Gudea red-tailed splitfin.
Yeah. I have the Doidra. I can never say it.
The Dodrio eye.
There's Xenotokas too, but
yep.
Yeah. Thank you. I can never say it. I'm surprised I remember because I always forget the names of these things. But I've got a bunch of them well, I've only got 8 of them right there that I got from somebody I think Tom Galuli.
Oh yeah, definitely no Tom.
Mr. Alishon, he sent me those, and he wouldn't accept payment.
That sounds like Tom.
I wanted to pay shipping at least. He wouldn't let me do anything, so he sent me those last October, I think, and they're doing great. I mean, they've been breeding, at perfect pace. I love that they're so much better than guppies because it's just not overwhelming, but yet it's still easy, and it's still live bears to me are easier, and and they are beautiful fish.
Oh yeah, definitely. Live bears is what I always end up going back to. Is like that's what I started with. I just always have had a soft spot for live bears.
Any specific ones, the Gudaids or a lot of guppies and stuff, or is there any specific ones?
I started with guppies, but I really like Gudaids too.
Yeah.
I had for a while there. I had 5 or 6 different species. Then I shut the fish room down for a short period of time, and then I ended up giving them all away. Now the eyes and I are the only Gudaids I have at the moment.
Gotcha. Any Limias? Have you done those too?
I have Vittata and Tridents. The Tridents just don't seem to do well for me. I don't know if it's just the source I'm getting from the Vittata are doing great, but the Tridents just don't last.
Gotcha. Didi's fish den has some, and I don't know which one she has, but she was just mentioning it the other day. We were talking about it, so I might get into those as well. But anyways, let's see. We worked through all of the work history, right? We got all the different types of jobs you did and your favorites and everything, and what you currently do.
Yep.
What about hobbies besides fish keeping and stuff? What kind of things do you do in your spare time? It sounds like the fish club and the Keystone Clash take up a lot of your time, right?
Yeah, but when I do have other time, I love fishing, love getting out and fishing. That was actually a job I left out. Working at a tackle shop. I did that part-time for probably about 5 years. Like the same time I started Pella, I was doing that part-time. We're helping out on weekends and whatnot, but then I was working 7 days a week. So, and then we bought our house and I decided to cut back on that. But you know what? I would take landscaping back. If that job would pay what I could make, I would love to sit in the tackle shop all day. Just the regular customers, the old guys come in, like first thing in the morning, their coffee. They don't even want to buy anything. They just want to shoot the shit with you for a couple hours. Definitely the easiest, most fun job I've ever had, hands down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like fishing a lot. I have a project car. It was my first car when I was 16. I'm in a car club too, but I haven't been very active just because of how much the fish has taken over. I kind of had to step back from the car club. Hope to get back more into that in the coming year. But I also started getting into photography too. I really enjoy photography.
Gotcha. What kind of camera?
It's my God, what is it? I haven't used it in so long. It's a Nikon DSLR, the 3500, I think it's called. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know too much about them. We've got a few Canon DSLRs. Most of them are older, but yeah, my wife is really into. Well, she used to be. She hasn't been recently, but she used to be big into it. What kind of stuff did you like to photograph too? Was there anything specific or just?
I don't like photographing people. I like doing automotive and I like doing nature. Then I would do some stuff in the fish tanks, but I like stuff that you really can't manipulate. Like what you got's what you got. Like with people, you can pose them different ways, but like vehicles that you got a lot of aspects of the glare coming off and you can only do so much to position them where you want. And I really like doing nature because it's literally, that's right in front of you. That's what you got to work with.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it.
What about black and white? Do you enjoy black and white film and pictures? And
depends. I've never gotten into just straight film, but I mean nowadays, you take a picture, you just put it on a Photoshop, you can just literally hit black and white and it turns it. Yeah. I know I did a photo shoot of my buddy. He has an older truck. I think it's a early 60s Ford from work. And I did some of his pictures just turned out really, really cool in black and white. But like the older cars, I would do black and white with some of them.
I don't get it. I have friends that back in the day they were really into it when it was all film and stuff, and they were just so into the black and white pictures, and I'm like, color is better. It gets more. I could see stuff. I never understood the black and white thing. I never I never got why people would want to put things in black and white. It never made
No,
things more striking to me, or I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I'm just not
no,
artistic.
no. I totally get it. I feel the same way with a lot of stuff. Like I said, the only time I do black and white is like if I'm taking pictures of older cars, just kind of give it that more vintage nostalgic. But yeah,
Yeah.
just everyday stuff that people make it black and white. I don't understand it either. Like, I think you'd want those colors to pop, but
Yeah.
everybody has their own thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Beauty's in the eye. Beauty's in the eye. So fishing, photography, cars, and what kind of project car do you have?
It's a '93 BMW 740i.
Oh, fancy boy.
Yeah, I thought so too until my first part went out when I was 16, and I'm like, oh, that's $800. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dailied that. What's that?
Go ahead.
Honestly, I dailied that until I was about, I think I was like 18. I bought a little beater truck and parked that, and then now it's been sitting in my driveway for a couple years trying to finish it up and get it running again. I drove it for a couple months, and then something else went out. So at this point, it'll probably be a new car by the time I'm done replacing all the crap wrong with it.
Yeah. So are you going towards a restore, or are you just making it back into like a daily driver?
I'm going to go with a restore on it and then do some custom work to it. Being involved with the car club, it definitely brought me a lot of connections, people that could do a lot of cool stuff for it for decent price. But with the type of car it is, there's not that much out there for them.
Yeah.
So it's a little more on the expensive side, a lot of custom fabrication. But one day it'll be cool and winning trophies.
See, when I think project car, I guess I'm just more redneck, but I think, like a Chevy Nova, or,
right,
a GTO or Chevelle or Volkswagens. I had quite a few of those when I was a kid. That's what I think. When you said BMW, I'm like, oh, fancy. All right. Any other hobbies? What about video games?
I do have I loved playing video games when I was younger, and if I had the time, I'd definitely love to sit back down and pick it up. I have an Xbox One, I have a Switch, and I have a decent amount of games for them, but it's just finding the time to sit down and do it. Because unfortunately, I'm one of those people, I can't just sit down for like 35, 45 minutes and play. Like if I'm sitting down, it's hours.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find the time to do it.
I'm with you. Yeah, because you sit down and I'm just gonna, like, Michelle's gonna be home in an hour, and then Michelle just went to bed. I'm still playing. When what kind of games do you like to play when you play?
I really like the big open world games. Like I love like the Elder Scrolls games are probably my favorite franchise of them. I get a little bit in the first person shooters. The last couple of Call of Duty games I felt have been kind of ass, but you can see Tara in the reflection.
Hi. You can't hear us.
She's not going to get on camera and wave anyway. She's trying to get right. You just see her go.
Yeah. First-person shooters, I've never been good at. I tried. So I just don't care to play them because I suck at them. I've always been horrible. I don't know what it is, but I live in that role playing. That's mine too. The Elder Scrolls, and Witcher 3, and just all of those.
I've heard those games are amazing. I've never tried them.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, 3 is the best, but the other 2 are pretty good too. The Fallout games,
they're so good.
Yeah, Starfield is coming for the Xbox pretty soon. That I'm looking forward to that. That's from the same people who made, it's from Bethesda, same people that make Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Okay, so it's going to be their first. It's a space RPG, and it's their first new thing in quite some time. So really looking forward to that.
That'll be interesting.
And you play on what'd you say, on the PS4?
Xbox One.
Oh, good. Because that's where I'm at. So I was going to say.
Yeah,
there's too many. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when I was younger, I was diehard PlayStation. All my friends got Xboxes. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get an Xbox. And all of a sudden, everybody reverted back to PlayStation. And I'm like, man, forget you guys.
Yeah.
I'll play by my damn self.
We're not touching that one. I like both platforms. I don't care really. I'm not like, oh God, it's got to be Microsoft. It's got to be PlayStation. Sony. I don't care. It's just that the games that I like to play more just happen to be on the Xbox. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I think the PlayStation 5 is still a great piece of machinery, and there's a ton of great games on it. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them, or the Nintendo Switch either. I have a Switch as well, and it's a great device too. All of those devices you just can't go wrong these days with them.
No. A lot of stuff's cross-platform now too. I mean, you have some of them that are specific. Like I'm just waiting for the day they decide to throw God of War on Xbox, because that that is definitely one franchise I miss from PlayStation. I loved God of War.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife actually played that one quite a bit. I don't know if I even actually played it.
Really?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's so good.
The first one was on the PlayStation 2, maybe, right? Does that sound about right?
I believe I think the first two were actually on PlayStation 2.
Yeah. And we had the PlayStation 2 where you open the lid,
Yep, that's what I had.
yeah, to play
The
games
Slim.
that maybe weren't bought at the store. Same with the Dreamcast. We had a Dreamcast with that one was very easy to play games that were acquired otherwise. But we had that one too. So I've had consoles though since 1972, since the Sears Pong.
Oh my God.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Michelle and I should go for Halloween. Halloween. I think we should go as the Pong. She'll be the stick, and I'll be the big round ball. And I thought that'd be perfect. I think we're gonna do that for our Halloween costumes.
I think that's genius. I think it's gonna be disappointing how many people are like, well, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, 10. Because what's 10? No, it's Pong. So I just have to keep bouncing off
just
her.
Bumping into her.
Yeah. All right. Where were we at? We were talking about the different hobbies. Any other hobbies that you want to talk about, or anything else that you really get into doing?
I think that's about it. I think that's enough of them too. I don't need any more hobbies.
Yeah. So I'm that kind of person that I constantly get into new hobbies, but I never let go of the other ones. Like I just bought a race car set not that long ago. Slot cars.
Yeah.
My youngest son and I were, I don't know, we might be getting into that a little bit, but I won't leave fish keeping behind. I still kayak. Well, I don't anymore because health reasons. But do you do that? Do you focus really on one hobby, or are you like every?
Oh no, I'm so scatterbrained with that crap. That's why I don't have any money. It's rough. Like I look out back, like I have a bunch of woodworking stuff in my shed, but nowhere to really set it up. So if I had the room for that, I'd be back into woodworking again too. But
gotcha. And what'd you get into with the woodworking? You said you worked at a furniture store. Did you make frames for couches and stuff, or what did you make there?
We mainly made like tables. We made dresser sets, wardrobes. Okay. So actually, basically everything but like frames for couches. It seems like we had some chairs we made too, but it was a pretty cool job. The boss was just a horrible human being though, so that didn't last.
Yeah, I same exact thing. I worked in a cabinet shop that was just basically a little. I don't know. It was very small, but it was a good job. I loved doing it. There's a lot of there was some skill involved, but the boss was a piece of shit. He really was. Yeah. He just wasn't a good person. So I didn't last there very long at all. I got fed up, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'll see you.
I know the guy's dad like built the company up for over like a 50, 60 year period, but then he handed it off to his son, and his son, silver spoon in the mouth and everything, just did whatever he wanted. Yeah. So he had no idea how to treat people or anything like that. Didn't know what work was. And just one of those situations.
Is it still in business?
Somehow. I don't know how, because I know when I left, they were on the downslide. So I don't know how they're still up and running.
Yeah. Maybe he brought in somebody that knew what they were doing, a manager or something.
Maybe.
Okay, shifting gears again. I want to talk a little bit about the clubs. You are the president of your club. How did that come about? How long have you been a member of? And it's the Cichlid Club of York, right?
Yep.
And what's the website? CCY, or is it actually?
Now I'm thinking about. I think it's cichlidclubofyork.com. I'm pretty certain it's actually spelled out.
I'm looking. I'm just curious, so we can tell people. Plus, I'm sure you're on Facebook and.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page. We might be on Twitter. I don't use Twitter, so I don't know. I know we have a band page. I know the band's becoming popular, so you can't sell fish on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, it is cichlidclubofyork.com, and a whole bunch of information there, all their talks and stuff. I never joined them, but I was for the longest time. I was a member of the Bucks County Aquarium Society. I had to let it lapse, but I love what they did online. Now, do you guys do you ever put your talks online and stuff like that?
We never really got into it. A lot of usually it's a speaker by speaker basis. Some of them don't want their talks online.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something we never really got into was recording them and putting them online.
I like that Bucks County did that. It made people like myself that's so far away. I felt it was still a, great bang for the buck. I could still, um, I was only it's only like $30 a year or something. Uh, but I could still get some benefit from it just by going to the talks, via YouTube or whatever it was.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
so it is a nice way to reach out to people. So you guys, I see you have a CARES program.
Yep.
Let's see. You have auctions and stuff.
Yep.
I'm just sort of looking at some of the quick stuff on here. Oh, and you do have all your links for different things: Facebook, Twitter, newsletter. What is the monthly or what is the yearly fee to join the club?
For a single person, it's $20. For a couple, it's 30, and then for a family, it's 40. And then we
Okay,
have a junior membership. It's like $10.
nice. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Let's see. Jessica Bullock, From the Literature to the Lab: Adventures in Cichlid Research. That is
Yep,
going to be on May 6th,
yep,
which
that
is
was a
past.
that was a good that was a great talk.
Which is
She
past.
she came down from Canada for that.
Uh, it needs to be updated. I'm just,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
we
say.
it definitely needs updated. 100%. We had somebody working on it, and then they got busy with their work and schooling, and then we're trying to find somebody else to take it over. But yeah, it definitely needs some updating.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to have somebody keep up on it like that. That's why the Facebook stuff makes it so easy.
Oh, absolutely.
So again, how long have you been a member of the club then?
I've been a member since basically the beginning. The club's been. This is the 11th year of the club. This will be my 11th year as a member. And
Wow.
yeah. So like I said earlier, like I was into guppies, and I had a couple tanks in my my mom's basement at the time, and I was raising guppies there and scrolling on Facebook, and I found this. I just typed in fish clubs, and this cichlid club of York popped up. And what the hell's a cichlid? So I was researching that and joined the club, and turned out there was two members in my town, and the one I became very close with, her name's Carrie. She was like, well, hey, why don't you just come over some on this day early in the morning? I'll take you up to the meeting, and rest is history. Joined it. I fell in love with the hobby even more. Just then, just when you first walk into a club, like I only have experience with these two clubs, like on like a big scale, like being involved with them a lot. But when you just walk in, and like I was 16 at the time joining, so I mean I'm like nervous as hell, awkward as hell, and just all these like people just so welcoming. Like they knew I knew nothing, and it was just cool seeing how they react to like a young person. Well, because I know other hobbies, like they see someone young or inexperienced, they just really just kind of shun them. But
Yeah.
not with this, just people taking you right under their wing, trying to teach you stuff. It's really cool.
And I've heard that. I've heard that all those clubs right there seem to be that same way. Now some of the clubs one club that I dealt with was not. They weren't welcoming. They didn't introduce anybody. They didn't, they didn't really acknowledge your existence, and
That's a
that
shame.
is so important. And
It
it's
is.
it makes people. I stopped doing anything with that club very quickly because I never felt like they even noticed I was there at all. Um, they never really. We did some online stuff, and there would be like 15 people in there, and seven of them were brand new, and the president stuff didn't introduce who anybody was. He didn't. They just jumped right into things. They didn't welcome the new people. I mean, it just nothing. It was just
Yeah, that's that's so important. Like that's how we always start our meetings. We always do a slideshow at the start of our meeting, and right after like the introduction slide, just hey, welcome. And the first next slide after that, here's all of our new members that joined last month. And then I see a new face or somebody points out a new face. I try to make sure I go up, introduce myself, and
yeah.
point them to like the elders of the club who've been doing it for 50 years, and all the board members. Try to point out the people that can help them and find out what they like to keep, and then see who else. Well, this person also keeps that, and that's just so important. Just that first impression. Because I mean, if you walk in, you don't feel welcome right away, you're not going to come back.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And I did feel very welcomed by Bucks County, but also you guys. I mean, we were talking about that. I don't know. We were talking about it on one of the streams recently about how. So we've sort of overwhelmed some of the people. The Fish Fam has sort of overwhelmed some of the people that had been going to the Clash for a long time, right? Because there's so many of us. We're all friends and stuff, and we sort of, I mean, we're a big group of people, right? A new influx, a lot of people, and most people were very, very welcome. There's a very few people that were standoffish and really didn't, they didn't really care for us to be there so much.
Yeah.
But most of the people, I remember 2 years ago, I went up and signed in, registered. I don't remember the gentleman's name. He was skinnier. He had glasses. He was probably, I imagine he was his late 50s. His wife was with him.
Pete Bruce by any chance?
Maybe. That
So
sounds right.
I know him and his wife Amy were working the table 2 years ago for sure at some point.
That sounds right. That sounds Bruce and Amy sounds right. Did they also spend a lot of time in the hospitality suite?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I bet that, but they were like, "Hey, it's so good to see you. Here's where we are. Who we are." I mean, even right there, they were so welcoming, and I was.
Did he happen
like,
to
wow.
introduce himself as Mr. B, like Mr. B's Aquatics or anything like that? Because I know he would set up at swaps using that name.
Yeah, maybe he was there last year. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Super, super welcoming. That's what made me come back the next year. Skipper was the one that turned me on to the Clash. He was like, "Hey, this event is happening near me. We should all, there's a lot of us in this area. We should come down." Loved it the first year. Second year was even better, and this year I bet it's going to be even better again. It's a great event. But back to what we were talking about. Most people there are, "Hey, come in. The water's fine." They're like,
Yep.
"There's plenty of room for you guys. Come hang out." Some unfortunate events, happen where maybe somebody says something in a when they win and something, and sort of, I think what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Might turn some people off, but I think overall they realize that we're just fish keepers too, and we just want to be part of their community.
Yeah. I think a lot of that stems back to like people have been in the hobby for so long, and then they hear, "Oh, those guys are with YouTube," and for a while, YouTube just did not have a good representation, or not necessarily representation, but just did not have a good look in the hobby. Like it was a lot of people, they just wanted, all they cared about was their views. They didn't care what they were doing. But obviously, it's transitioned so much in the last couple of years. Because I know when I first started talking to you guys on YouTube, I'm like, when did this become a thing again? Like I thought it died off, but it's great. It's a huge community. It's a great community. I don't think I've met anybody in it that I don't like. It's great.
Oh, there's a couple I don't like.
That Skipper guy, right?
Oh yeah, Skipper. He's horrible. He's just a
terrible human being.
You're right, though. It's an amazing group of people, and just a lot of fun. So, so was this the first year you were president of the club?
No, I actually took an unfortunate term. So previous president was Dwayne Walker. He did it for 4 years, and he approached me before the previous Clash to me taking over, and he's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about hanging it up. This is 4 years in. That's a literal presidential term." He's like, "I feel like you're the one I want to see take over this club. If you're in it, I'll nominate you next time, and we'll go from there. I'll help you show you the ropes and go from there." And I thought about it for a while, and I'm like, you know what, I'll do it. So yeah, January of 2020, I took over. Super, super successful. We had a great first meeting there. I was terrible at public speaking, so that was a nightmare for me. I hated getting up for all those people. February, we had another good meeting. We did a group buy. All the fish arrived in March. We had a packed house, most people I've ever seen there. And then all of a sudden, right after then, it's, "Hey, there's this pandemic going on. Can't meet in public, or can't meet in person, can't do all this stuff." So that was horrible. Just like, it's like, man, I just got into this, just getting good at it, just became president. Now all of a sudden, we can't have meetings. What are we going to do? And then at that time, we dropped out. Like most of our board, like they had stuff going on. So it was literally me, the vice president, Glenn, and the treasurer, Mike Mall, which I'm sure you've seen Mike flying around the Clash. Yeah. Hardest working man in the hobby. I mean, that dude doesn't stop. But it was literally us three, like, okay, well, how do we keep this club afloat? So we eventually transitioned into doing like Zoom meetings, which I despised. I hated doing it. It just doesn't feel right. Like that's actually when I shut my fish room down during the pandemic, because you realize real quick when you can't meet with people like that, or like, and you don't have this like connects. Like obviously I wasn't on YouTube or doing anything then, but you really realize this hobby is all about the people. It's not really about the fish. So when you don't have that connection with the people and your fellow hobbyists, it's almost meaningless at that point. So, but yeah, luckily the next year we were able to get back up and running, and it's been a hell of a ride ever since.
Yeah. And are you thinking about 4 years too and stepping aside, or are you thinking, you're younger, right? So maybe sticking with it for a while until they don't want you to anymore, maybe, or somebody runs against you.
See, that seems to be the hard part in a lot of these clubs now. There's really never anybody going against each other. It's like one person gets nominated and everybody's like, thank God somebody's taking it. Like, it's not like, I know I always heard back in like the 80s and 90s, you would have 3-4 people going against the same, going for the same position, people voting, but now they're just thankful somebody takes it. But I've been tossing around for a while. I'm kind of thinking about hanging it up after 4 years if someone's willing to take it over. I don't want, like, we're at a point now, the club's finally, we're at a point where we're profitable during our meetings. Membership is as high as it's ever been. So if this would be the year I'd feel comfortable, like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm not leaving you guys in the red. We're in a very good position. We're on the up. Like, I'd rather hand it off to somebody in that position. Whereas when I got it, it was like, hey, COVID's here. It's just going to tank.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, with us talking about like, possibly having a baby in the next year, like I really want to be able to commit to that. I don't want to have as much commitment to the fish world as I do now. So we'll see what happens. I might end up having to take it if nobody else wants it, but I think preferably I'd probably just like to give it my 4 years and hand it off to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with a new kid. Yeah. That's crap. I do this every time I do a focus on. You said something just a minute ago, and it made me, because I'm trying to focus on what you're saying, but then you'll trigger something, and I'm like, oh, I got to come back to that. But I'm listening to what you're saying, so I forget about what I wanted to come back to. Oh, Keystone Clash committee. So how long have you been on that committee?
I joined the Keystone Clash committee in 2018, I think.
Okay.
I think it was 2018 I joined. But yeah, I started that. I've been doing the same thing every year, the sponsors and vendors. And then this past year, Scotty asked me if I would do the assistant co-chair. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? Why not? But yeah, that's always cool too. Getting to see it really between being a president of a club and being on the board of an event, it opens up a whole different viewpoint to how things run. It gives you a lot of new respect for a lot of people for what they do, especially when you hear people who've been on committees for decades. Like and I'm on the actually this year I just was nominated onto the board for. Are you familiar with Northeast Council, the NEC?
Yeah, I went to their virtual one. Not this. Was it 2 years ago? I've been to a couple of their virtual conferences, but I haven't been to their actual thing. Okay. But yeah, I do know what the Northeast Council is. Yeah. How many different clubs does it represent?
I don't even remember. It's a lot,
right?
They're not even just. I think they even said now they're not even just doing the Northeast clubs. Like basically any club that wants to be a part of it, they just pay the dues, sign on, and they'll accept them. So it's a lot of clubs. Yeah. But I got nominated onto the board of that last year too. So I'm on the board of the Northeast Council, and some of those guys, like I know Janine and David Banks, they've been on that council for. We just had a meeting. They talked about I think it was like 20 something years, maybe even longer. It's insane. So you just get a whole new respect for people like that stick with it that long and just continue to do a hell of a good job at it.
I think I went to one of their like after party events that was totally online, and everybody was singing. There was a guy with a guitar, and everybody was singing. But because it's online, some people were lagging a little bit, so it was horrible. It was fun. It was a blast, and the guy
was horrible.
The guy who had the guitar and was singing had a great voice and very talented, but the rest of us were way off because some people were lagging, so they're just a second behind or half a second behind. So the voices were just. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so bad. But it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
It really sounds like it.
I think that was that. I don't remember now. That could have been. No, that wasn't a Bucks County thing. I think that was the Northeast Council virtual thing. Like 2 years ago.
I know Bucks did do a like online Christmas party or something, so maybe it could have been that too. I didn't go. I know I wasn't on it, but
I know Mark Denaro.
Yep, Mark Denaro.
He was there. He was the speaker, and we were beforehand. Maybe I'm getting these confused too. This could have been a different event. I just remember talking with Mark though, and it was before. There was only like 4 or 5 of us in the room at the time, the virtual room there. And somehow we got talking about YouTube and different stuff. And I said, yeah, I do a little YouTube stuff. And I was like, do you know who Rachel O'Leary is? He goes, "Oh yeah, I know Rachel." And then I said, "Yeah, I just got to interview her." And then he comes up and he does his talk and he shows his book where him and Rachel just wrote a book. I feel like such a douchebag. Do you know who Rachel is? I got to interview her. He wrote a book with her.
Yeah.
But he was, he didn't say that. He could have been like, "Oh yeah, I wrote a book with her." Oh, cool. But he didn't say anything. He didn't.
That's very Mark though too. He's a very humble guy when it comes to that. He's great. If that could have been Bucks, I know he's heavily involved with Bucks County.
Maybe. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember yesterday.
There's so many events around.
I do, again, though, I really do appreciate those that can do those types of things online. Callie heavily involved in all that stuff. It just helps because I can't get to all those events. My local club is the one that I didn't really, it's the CNYAS. Gary Lang said they used to be a really, really big club that was very active, but they're really not anymore. There's hardly anybody there. And that's the one I was talking about, that they didn't introduce anybody. They just didn't make anybody feel welcome. They just, I left the club because I never did anything with them. They just weren't engaging. And I was a member of Bucks County for 2 years because they were,
Yeah.
So it's a huge difference. And it doesn't take that much effort if you're not the guy at your club, find somebody who is, that can do that stuff and have somebody to be a Walmart greeter and to make sure everybody is, knows who everybody is and stuff. It's important.
Yeah, it's not that hard to shake a hand, introduce yourself, and like you said, even if you feel like, hey, this would be a better fit of someone to talk to, just hand them off to somebody. It takes 20 seconds.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
At least you're acknowledging their existence. Whoa.
Yeah.
My camera's been doing that a lot lately. Okay, sorry, I'm good. Okay, we're just about there to the top of the hour, so we'll open up to the chat in a little bit. So we talked about the clubs. Trying to think what else I wanted to ask you about. Can you hear that?
I can. What is it, a motorcycle or just a car?
It's a fan boat.
Oh, okay.
This guy brings his fan boat up. He's early this year. He's on the lake. He was on the bay, actually.
Sounds like he's in your yard.
Well, it's that close. It's right there. But I hate him. I absolutely hate the guy. The thing is so friggin' loud. How is that fun? I'm sorry. He should be gone here in a second. He always waves too. I flip him off every time. He waves at me like, hey, how you doing? And he's just, you can hear him 5 miles away. It's ridiculous.
I think, don't people usually wear like earmuffs or something or hearing protection when they're driving one of those? Like, how is that enjoyable?
Too. Why do you have to have one out here? You have a normal boat. Don't be a Floridian. Sorry, people in Florida. Sorry, you can have your fan boats. Just keep them there. Don't bring them up here. What was I saying now? He totally distracted me. We talked about the clubs. We talked about your hobbies. We talked a little bit about the relationship with you and Tara. Jobs. I think is there anything that you'd like to talk about? I mean, your channel doesn't have much content. You're really not interested in being like a YouTuber, right? You just, you do it a little bit just to be a part of the community and to impart some knowledge about the Clash or whatever is going on. But you're really not that interested in making.
Yeah, I don't ever. No, I was doing the weekly with Scotty on Mondays, but unfortunately work picked back up over time. So it's like trying to get from there to here, get on, and it's rough trying to make it on at that point. But yeah, I don't see myself just doing my channel and like posting, consistent content or getting up and doing consistent lives every week like on my channel. I don't think I see that happening.
Yeah, just not for you. You're just not interested.
Eventually maybe just make a video here and there, share some information. Like I like more like the educational side of it, like the scientific side of it. So not necessarily the fun side of it, but just not for me.
Yeah, that's okay too. I mean, it's not for everybody, and some people who think it's for them, it's not. And some people who don't think it's for them, it is, so there's some people that would be amazing at it. And there's some people that do it that aren't great at it. And then there's us in the middle that are, we're sneaking through. So, okay. I think this is a good time. So nothing else that you want to talk about though, that we didn't talk. I mean, anything in your life that, sort of shaped who you are as a person we didn't talk about family. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have 4 younger cousins that are basically a brother and 3 sisters. We at some point we each of them lived with me and my mom and grandma at some point, so we've just been super close our whole lives. Actually, this past weekend, my younger cousin, his name's Trent, and he's basically like my little brother. He just graduated from Marine boot camp, and then on
Oh,
Sunday, I have 2 twin cousins, Sage and Sierra. They're like my little sisters, and they both just graduated from Dickinson College. So it's a pretty fulfilling weekend there. That was
oh,
pretty
nice.
cool.
Yeah. No, none of your brothers and sisters, but they're close enough that you
Yeah.
consider them that way.
Yep. I'm an only child,
Cool.
but I look at him as a brother and 3 sisters. The
Yeah.
youngest one, her name is Brooke. She's still in school, in high school, so she'll be graduating, I think, in 2 years.
That's awesome. That's great. When you have family like that you can be that close with. I mean, just because they're family doesn't mean you have to be close with them, but
Right.
it's great when it does happen. I wish my kids had that they were closer with their cousins. Most of them live like in Arizona and different places, so I think they missed out on that. So, okay, yeah, I think now is a good time. Let's go ahead and open up to the chat. Again, there's a lot of standard questions. Now, can you see the chat?
Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. I can see it off to the side.
So I'll feed you questions, but if you want to answer something, feel free if you see something. So
Okay.
Let's see. We're going to start right here. Crypt Keeper is the first one I saw. And he says, if money wasn't an issue, all expenses paid, where would you travel, or what would you go do for a whole year? So money, you don't have to worry about money, no jobs, nothing like that. What would you do for an entire year and where?
An entire year. Well, one thing Tara and I talked about doing, kind of like a bucket list thing, might get to it eventually, but we'd like to travel around and hit like as many aquariums and zoos as possible, just all different states all over the country. So I think maybe if that was the case, maybe just spend a year doing that. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh, that would be really cool. I'd love to do that too. Hi everybody. For anybody that doesn't know, the whole first part of the chat, the whole first part of the stream, we didn't see the chat. So if you said something, we didn't even see it at all. So if you made a comment earlier on, go ahead and ask that again. And I apologize if people came in and said hi to us and we didn't say hi. Again, we don't see the chat. So, okay, let's see. Next up was Carlos. Hi, Carlos. What was one lesson that you learned in fish keeping that you wished you had never learned?
Oh, like something I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a tough one right there.
That's a good one.
That is. Well, I mean, one I learned is how little bit of time it actually takes to overfill a tank. That one was not fun. Like, probably shouldn't be scrubbing this tank on the other side of the room while you're filling that tank, and then all of a sudden, hey, what the hell is that sounding? Next you know, you got 10, 20 gallons of water spilling out on the floor.
Yeah. You know what? I still use buckets. I use a python to bring the water out of the tanks because I keep that water. We water all the plants with it. We water the garden with it. So I keep that water. We reuse it right away. I want that water. But I use also the bathrooms right on the other side over here. So I use buckets to fill up the tanks. And this one's actually a little low. I did partial water change today. I need to finish up. But I never have to worry about, overfilling. Yeah, it's true. A lot more work, carrying the buckets, but it's not that bad.
How many tanks do you have back there?
I don't have that many anymore. I've gotten rid of most. So I actually have I have 2 little 5 gallons that are here. They're little shrimp tanks. So those 2, and then there's one over here. It's a 45 tall. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's one over here, 8. There's actually one over here too, but there's nothing in that right now. It's totally empty. So I only have 8 tanks. I got up to 12, and then I've been consolidating over the last, probably a year. Okay. In fact, the one that's up here in the corner is almost entirely guppies. There's a couple of pseudomcgills left over in there they used to be in a tank here, but the seal broke. And I lost almost all of them. It happened overnight. So I lost almost all of them. But they're all that tank, the entire tank is going in a tub outside. And then it's going to the Clash. All those guppies are going to go to the Clash. I'm going to give them away. So that'll be
that's
another
cool.
tank down. So I'll have one less. Okay, let's see. Next one up, and that was a good question from Carlos. Big Cat wants to know if you believe in aliens.
Oh, absolutely. I believe in damn near anything. I'm into all that cryptid bullshit and mermaids, all that Bigfoot. I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm not one of those people like I don't believe it till I see it. I'm more of those like I kind of believe it until you disprove it kind of deal. Like I got ghost hunting equipment. I love all that shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
And have you ever seen proof of any of the things to make you say yes, 100%, this is real? Of anything like ghost or anything?
Several occasions, honestly. Like there's I'm 20 minutes south of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, so that's huge for paranormal activity. Just going up there to some of the spots, like don't go on the ghost tours and crap. I'd say a good 90% of them, they're all fake. They have stuff they can trigger stuff with, but if you go out there with just like average Joes or certain like actual people who are really into paranormal investigating, you see some crazy stuff up there.
Yeah.
And then aliens, like 2 different experiences when I was younger. Me and my friends, we would just like chill out back and just stuff you would see and like in the sky and stuff like unexplainable stuff. Like one night, I wish more people would have been there to witness it besides just 2 of us at 1 o'clock in the morning and totally sober. None with no influence. Yeah, totally 100% sober. You're just sitting in our yard just talking, and all of a sudden, I swear to God, a beam of light came down, passed over 4 houses, including my backyard, and then just went up. And couldn't explain it, nothing. Didn't see anything, but that was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen to make me believe in aliens.
Gotcha. My daughter goes to, it used to be a high school. It's a tiny little place. Now it's a community center just a little bit south of us, a few miles. And they do things there. Now that place, it was a high school. My wife's grandma, who just passed away a few years ago, she was 90, I think, or somewhere around 90 when she passed away. She was the last graduating class from that place. So that's how old this building is, right? She was the last graduating class, and she was 90 years old. But they hold all these ghost things, they're paranormal things, and they let you, use the equipment and teach you how to use the equipment and stuff. She's super into that. She's done it a few times, and she swears there's something. They all will feel something at the same time. I don't know. I've never seen anything, but something. Again, I'm jumping all over the place, but that's what I do. We didn't talk about tattoos.
Oh, okay.
That's almost a hobby for you in some ways.
Yeah, it's definitely my most painful hobby for sure.
Yeah. How many do you have? I mean, we see this. Do you have a sleeve or anything?
That, and I actually just finished up my. Let's see if I can get it on camera. Trying to figure it out. So this is all music themed. So I have a turntable there, a microphone. Man, I'm going all inverted. It goes up. I have a cassette tape. If you go up, I have a boom box there. Then on the back side, I have headphones there. Then it's actually my cousin. He's a tattoo artist. But then it's like staff lines. You can see like some negative music notes in there and whatnot. But
yep.
Very cool. Then the neck tattoo. You probably I don't think you listen to rap music at all, do you?
No, and I was going to ask you what kind of music. I've tried. I really have. I have an open mind when it comes to music and different cultures and things, but I just can't get into rap. I don't like poetry either, though. So, and I feel like rap is poetry, really, a lot of it. So, no, I don't know anything about. I like big butts. That's not even really rap, right?
That's Sir Mix-a-Lot. So, I mean, I guess he would have been kind of considered a rapper back in the day.
I mean, I like the Beastie Boys. I like Run DMC a little bit, but I remember Rapper's Delight from the Sugar Hill Gang. Because when I was a young man, most of my friends were people of color, and that song was huge in my group. So I could do the whole thing. I mean, I knew all the words, and I could do it. That's about it, though. Anything new, I haven't. So is that what that's from, though? Is that what?
So the logo in the middle there, it's the logo from a label called Strange Music. You may have even heard the name Tech Nine float around, but
Yep.
that's he co-founded that label, and I don't know, just like all the artists on there, just like I connect with them on like a just totally different level than like anybody else.
Gotcha. And would you say rap is by far your favorite then style of music?
Yeah, I find myself getting, I guess, in my old age here, 27, I find myself getting more and more into reggae music. My one uncle, that's like his shit since he was a kid is reggae, and like
Yeah.
I was close with him, and just hearing like him play a lot of reggae. I always had reggae as part of my lineup, but I find I'm getting more and more into it.
Yeah.
I really like
What's
R&B.
what style of reggae? Like when I was a kid, we called it rock steady. Was like the Bob Marley and Black Uhuru and
Oh, I love Black Uru.
I'm trying to think of some of the other.
Steel
I'm drawing a
Pulse.
blank. Yeah, Steel Pulse. Yep.
Yeah, I like most of it. Like I have like the older stuff like that. Some of the newer guys coming out. You got Joss Sun. You got oh my god, now I'm blanking out too. You got
Yeah.
like J Boog, all Bob Marley's kids, like all their music. I mainly listen to a lot of Damian Marley, but yeah.
So is it more pop influence today, or is it still like that older style? Because I really been out of the loop. I don't really know. So I would be interested in getting back into it.
Some of the newer stuff, it seems like it is more mixed with like rap and pop, kind of like I know Damian Marley, Beanie Man, they consider themselves more like rappers than reggae artists, but just having that reggae twist on it just makes it a whole different animal.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, sorry, we went off on a tangent there. We better get back to it. Let's see. Mountain Greenery, Big Cat's better half. Other half, I've never met either one of them. I think we're going to meet them at the Clash this year.
You don't know which one's the better one.
I don't. I just assumed Mountain Greenery because she's the female, and
that's totally fair.
Usually that's how it works, right? So, if so, she would like to, and again, some of these questions already, actually, all the questions already are they're part of the show. They're every time we do a focus on these questions get asked.
Oh, cool.
We've got quite a few of those. Now I've taken too many breaks. January was 2 years of doing focus ons. You're somewhere right around the 90th one. I should be way farther. So that's how long these questions. Myrtle asked his question on the very first live stream, and it's been like that since. He's asked every time that he's here, or somebody asked for him. So it's a part of the show, and it's a part of it. I love it.
That's really cool, though.
It's a tradition, right? It's become, because it's not my show. It's for the community. It's them too. It's you. It's everybody. So okay. Her question is, if you could live in any of your aquariums, which one would it be and why? So you're living in there as maybe just a little bit of yourself that can live underwater, whatever, or as a fish. Which one would you live in?
I'm going to go with the least killifish tank, because if it came down to it, I could whoop all their asses. There's no way I'm getting in these cichlid tanks. There's no way. Those things are going to just murder me. Like, get in here with this Vieja Bifasciata and all them silver dollars. There's no way I'd survive in there, but I think I can mess up some least killifish.
That's a great answer. Nobody has put that spin on it yet. Nobody has thought about, are these fish going to come after me yet? So that's a great spin on it. Next up is Tomatillo. What's up, Tomatillo? Silver Creek. He says, if you were to identify as an aquarium plant or other living thing, man, some of these questions are getting deep. What would your aquarium spirit animal be? So
my aquarium spirit animal.
If you were to identify as an aquarium plant or other living thing from an aquarium, what would that spirit animal be?
How do you answer? Not gonna lie, it's a really good question. It really makes you think, but wow, when I thought about the questions I might get asked, I can assure you that was nowhere near my list of aquarium spirit animal. Holy shit. Do you have an answer for that by any chance? Like, have you heard that question? Do you have an answer for that?
I have not heard that one. That's a new one from Tomatillo. And I might say, man, I would probably say like a crayfish.
Oh, that's a good one.
I had one called Zoidberg for a couple of years.
My God.
He passed away, and he was they called him a blue lobster, but he was a crayfish, and He was just every time I went up, he was in a tank that was up here, it was a 45 tall that I had up here. And every time I went over there, he came running up to the front of the tank, and he was just, and he just always wanted to hang out. And I would be him because he was grumpy too. You could just tell he was grumpy. You could just tell. You could see it. He was a grumpy old bastard. So that would be me. That would be me.
I love that answer. Man, I was really hoping that getting you to answer your question would let me jog my memory, but I am just not. I mean, if I had to choose, I mean, if I don't know, maybe just like a snail, just like cruise around and not really care about anything at that point.
People leaving you alone.
Yeah, really, like nobody bugging you unless you get one of those species that do eat them. But
yeah, Annette's gonna love that answer. Whip's World, what's up, Whip? You've come into enough money, so it's not an issue anymore. What are you doing and where are you doing it? So the last question was Tim asked, and these questions are very close. He's asking, what would you do for a year? Whip's saying, you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life. You're set. Would you go live on an island somewhere? What would you do with your life? Would you make a soup kitchen and feed the homeless? What would you do?
I know Tara and I have talked about it for a while, and we actually talked about moving out west to be able to financially do it because you can't do it around here. But if money's not an issue, definitely want to like get just a ton of land and just do a bunch of cool shit on it. Like I mean, start up a farm, but like we're both pretty in the cars and just have a bunch of cool cars around. And I don't know, she's dying to have a cow. Like, so if she can have at least just one freaking cow, like I'm so afraid I'm gonna walk home one day and there's gonna be this like cute little fuzzy bastard in my house, and I'm not gonna be able to be mad about it.
Yeah.
But,
why?
Yeah.
What is it about cows that just makes her? She just loves them.
She just loves cows. I mean,
yeah.
We're both just animal lovers as it is, but she's been on this cow kick for a while now, just wanting like a mini cow. So I would definitely buy a farm so she can have her cow for sure.
Nice. Happy wife, happy life.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, if you have questions, what I'm looking for, guys, is the @RicoStan, so it pops out. I'm just sort of scrolling down real quick because we oftentimes we don't even get to the end and ask all the questions. So if you have a question for Blake, you want to know something, or you have another comment or whatever, just do the @RicoStan for me so it really pops out, just like on Dan's Fish, what he always does. Patty, what's up, Patty? Wants to know what's your favorite flower, shrub, and tree? You were speaking about landscaping before. What was some of the stuff that you like to plant the most? So she wants 3 of them: flower, shrub, and tree. What if the flower grows on a shrub or a tree?
Or a tree.
That would be the both answers. So you could, shorten it up if you
want. That almost seems like cheating, though, too.
It does.
The one that always sticks out to me tree-wise, and I've been out of landscaping so long. I was actually just talking to Tara about this the other day, too. Like, I feel so stupid because I forget like 99% of the name stuff I used to plant. I used to just look at a property like, all right, well, I can plant this here because I can tell about the structure on this building. The sun's going to hit this point, blah, blah, blah. But I look at it now, I'm like, well, that's got green on it. I guess it's a plant now. Like It's amazing how little information I actually retained.
Yeah.
But for trees, I always like I want to say they're like a Japanese maple type deal. I'm definitely big on like the conservation side, planting native, but I just loved planting Japanese maples for some reason. I just thought they just filled the area so nicely.
Are they maroon? Are those the maroon ones?
Yeah, the ones with like the maroon leaves. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that just because it was so different. Like just like a middle of all the screen, you just have like one maroon tree. I just thought that was always so cool.
Yeah.
For shrubs or bushes or anything like that, I don't know. Another non-native, but I love butterfly bushes. Just always love them too.
I don't know what that one is. I'll have to look that
up. Oh, really?
Up.
We actually had a couple of them in our yard here for a while, but then they just did not work out for some reason. And then for flowers, I don't know about it. We just planted so much cool stuff that it's hard to just pick one flower. I always liked I can't think what they're called. Like some sort of like an orange lily, but I don't think they bloom for very long.
Is it a tiger lily?
Tiger lily, yeah. I really like those.
Those are native here. You see them on the side of the road all over the place. I mean, and I love that time of year when they're coming up. They're beautiful, and they're natives, and they just they look amazing. Butterfly bush, huh? I've seen those. They look cool.
They get pretty big too. There's a dwarf variety too, but if you get just the regular butterfly bush, they get pretty big.
So we planted milkweed, for the monarchs.
I
On
love
purpose.
milkweed too.
So the monarchs have that. But okay, so we got patties. You got all three of those. So let's scroll down. Okay, where's next? Next is Big Cat said that I was right that Mount Greenery was better. She's the better 3/4 of us as a whole.
Oh man.
Excuse me. Paul Sotera, what's up, Paul? If Blake had the option, would he rather have Scotty or Fishymon as the little voice in his head?
Oh shit.
You like reggae, and he's from Trinidad.
I mean, I think I have to go with Fishymon on that, but I would just love to hear. I think the thing I'd like. Do you ever watch Key and Peele?
Yes, love him.
So the skit he does with like Jordan Peele's being like Obama and Keegan-Michael being like Luther. I can imagine that being Fishymon, just like the anger translators in the back of my head. Like I hear somebody say some stupid shit, and I just imagine Fishymon in the back. So I think I'd have to go with that.
Did you ever see when I think it was at the dinner, the journalist dinner, whatever it's called, at the White House, during the Obama years, he actually had him come up and be the angry voice.
No way.
Obama had him come up and do the angry voice.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Scrolling down. Let's see. Surf City, just saying hi, hello. Victor, what's up, Victor? What geographic area would you live in for enjoying ecology tourism? So, what geographic area would you live in for enjoying ecology tourism? So, like people just coming to see something native.
That's a really good, man. These people ask some really good questions.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Correspondence dinner. Thank you, Patty. I forget names of stuff. At memory, it's really going.
It happens.
I think what he's asking is, would you like to live like in an area where people do tourism, like on the lakes or on the oceans or in the mountains, or are they going to see something specific, like the redwoods or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to live somewhere where there's like where you're at, like somewhere just like right there on the lakes and waterways. So like I've just always been just drawn the water. So like,
yeah,
like we went to Tennessee for our honeymoon, and we went through like the Smokies. But like the main thing I was attracted to, the just creek just running through. So anywhere somewhere like that with some waterways to go through, I just think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm with you, because I spent most of my life in Arizona. When we moved up here, I can't see myself ever living far away from water like this ever again. A large body of water of some sort. So, Paul McCarthy coming in. Next up is from Dapper Dennis. He says, "Is there a historical figure Blake would like to meet, and is there an era in time that you'd like to visit?"
I mean, I really enjoy history, but I don't know that I've ever sat down and like thought like I'd really like to talk to this historical figure. But there in time, I would like to visit. I think one just sticks out in my head from history class. I think it'd just be cool just to hop back to the 20s for like a little bit, just to see how things have changed and how like revolutionary it was during the Roaring 20s, as they called it. Yeah. I think that'd be pretty cool to go back and see that.
It is a tough question, and I don't know what my answer to that would be, because I mean, every historical era has its huge negatives in my mind. Maybe not for people that look so much like me, but still, Oinky, hi Oinky. She says hi, and of course hugs for you both. Do you have a favorite wood to use in your tanks? And if so, why that particular one?
No, not really. I'm not too specific when it comes to driftwood and stuff. I mean, if it'll go in the tank and I can weight down or it sinks, it's good enough for me. I know a lot of people have always said, I've heard a lot of people say don't use the softwoods like pine, but the tank right behind me, everything in there is pine. Like we went to a waterway right near us and found a couple down things like that and put it in. It's been in there for 2 years now, never had an issue or anything. So if it fits, it can be weighed down. It's good for me.
Yeah. And I think part of the thing with pine is also the resins and stuff, right? So you have to be careful that it's all very, very dried out because those resins.
Yeah.
But I'm in the same boat. I don't really have a favorite wood per se. It's more just what it looks like. You know what I mean? How interesting it is and what it
Yeah.
like. I have grapevine and same thing as you. People told me don't put that in there. It's super soft and it's gonna break down. It's been in the 75 for 2 years and it's still solid. You know, it hasn't broken down. I don't know if there's different types of grape wood. I don't know if you know, maybe this came right out of my yard. You know, it was right here on the side of our house. We had a grapevine that we cut down. So it's been fine for 2 years. So I don't know how long people expect, you know, wood to last like that, or if there's different styles, types of the grapevine that break down earlier. Let's see. Next up is Alishon. Do you have a favorite Fish Club talk presentation? Your favorite talk or presentation slash?
There's a lot of great ones out there, and for a while I always said that Eric Bodrock was my favorite speaker, just because of how, I mean, he's one of those people that you could let him rattle on for 2, 3, 4 hours, but like it's all great information. He keeps you interested, like you're not getting bored. And but then I heard Regina talk, his, I guess, fiance. I don't think they're actually married, but his fiance do a talk, and I'm like, well, damn, I think I like her talk better. And then this past CCY meeting, Jessica Bullock came down from Canada, and it was just something different. Like I said before, like I really enjoy the science side of the hobby. I don't like getting up for a presentation and seeing, okay, well, here's a pretty fish, well, here's another pretty fish. Like I like the in-depth science, like why do things work the way they do. But her presentation was such a perfect blend of science and fun. So I think when it comes down to it, it'd have to be that talk that Jessica Bullock just did for us.
Nice. And I'm with you because people can relay information and be very informative, but it's, you know, it's super dry and it's just, they're very serious and it's just, you know, it's, you know, and Mr. Bodrock, I missed his talk 2 years ago at the Clash, but I did get to talk to him a little bit, and he's a super nice guy. And I could see very personable. You know, I could see that as we had a conversation. So
he'll just hold a conversation with anybody. You go up, introduce yourself, he'll talk to you like your long lost friends. He's such a great dude.
I love that about people like that because that's who I aspire to be as well. I love having conversations with people. So I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's somebody that's super famous or, you know, I'm dumb enough that I don't care if I come across saying something dumb or whatever. You know, I don't care. I want to meet that person and have a conversation and get to know more about them. And I'll talk to just about anybody. It drives my wife crazy. We used to always, every time we go somewhere, I'd see somebody I know too. Even when I lived in Arizona, doesn't matter where we went. In fact, years and years ago, I was married to a different person, my first wife. We lived on the east side, so like the suburbs of Phoenix. And I had to go to court. I was a bad boy. I had to go to court in Phoenix. So we're driving in, and my wife then, Stacy, she said, "Watch, you're going to know somebody here." And I'm like, "No, it's Phoenix. I'm not going to know anybody." So we're sitting there where we're sitting in the things, and they bring out these guys. They're all chained together. They're wearing orange jumpsuits. And one of the guys walks across in front of me, and he looks at me, and he's like giving me a stare. And I'm like, "Oh." And he goes and sits down over there, and he keeps staring at me. And I was like, "Holy shit, that's Alan." Because a friend of mine. So I did know somebody there.
What are the odds?
he waved at me like this because he was chained together. So the guy next to him was like,
"That's awesome."
Look, we're at the bottom of the chat. We still have a half an hour though, and again, anybody who came in late or excuse me, anybody who asked questions earlier, I'm sorry that I didn't get to them. Now's a good time. You can still do the @RicoStan so it pops out for me. Any other questions we want to ask? Again, Blake, now that we've talked about some other stuff, is there anything more that you'd like to talk about or anything that you'd like to tell people about yourself?
No, I really don't feel like I'm that interesting of a person, so I really don't really can't think of anything I just want to blurt out and
Yeah.
share or anything, but
You know,
I'm open to answer at anything though.
it's funny because every single person that I have interviewed, and again, you're like number 90, somewhere around there. Could be 88, could be 92. I don't know. You're somewhere around there. Every single person has said, I'm not an interesting person. Every single one of them has said that. Why do you want to interview me? I'm not interesting. Everybody's interesting. Everybody, because you're you. You're the only one there is, and you're the only one that has the outlook that you have on everything. You're the only one. There's nobody else who looks at the world exactly the same way that you do. So everybody's interesting. I just, I don't think there are boring people.
That's
really.
a pretty cool way to look at it.
Let's see. So I'm going to scroll up and just make sure I didn't miss anything else. If we don't have any more questions, we can cut it off early. I'm going to scroll back up here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing Monster Fish Gal dropping all kinds of links. Thank you so much, Lori. Okay. Yep, I'm not seeing anything there, so let's get back to the bottom. Okay. Scotty the Fish Freak wants to know, what is Blake's favorite killie?
That would be a Scotty question.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't kept enough of them to be able to just flat out say that this one's my favorite. I really want to keep. I'm blanking on the scientific name. It's like I think it's like the pearl killie or something like that. Every time we order from the Wet Spot, I always think about getting a pair or two of them. But I know some people in the club. There's beautiful black fish, which is like these like fluorescent baby blue spots on them. They're gorgeous. So I guess just out of my limited killie knowledge, I'd probably have to pick those.
I have seen those. Does Scotty have them? Somebody has them. I know. I don't remember who, but I have seen those. The Rocket Killie, I think, is probably my favorite. Or didn't they change the name to like Clown Killie or something? But
okay, I know the Clown Killie. Yeah.
Let's see. Surf City wants to know if you answer the question as other hobbies. Yes, Surf City. Yep, he had a few different hobbies. We did go into that. Alishon wants to know if did Blake go to CCY meetings at Scott's Clubhouse?
Oh, that to date, that is definitely my favorite place we ever had meetings. I loved it there. It sucks we kind of outgrew it, but I still say hands down. Like you walked in, it was like, so the original president, Scott McLaughlin, I'm sure you know him from King Queen Cichlids.
Yeah.
But when it was in his development he lived, they had this like clubhouse like for people that lived there, and I guess you could pay a fee or whatever and hold stuff there, or maybe it's just part of the homeowners association or something. But you walk in, it's just fully furnished, that has couches, big TV on the wall, and it was that hands down my favorite place we had our meetings at. It was just so comfy in there until it got too packed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I lived in a place out west there that we had one of those too. And it was nice. I think we did have to pay a fee if we wanted to like rent it. Otherwise, anybody from the neighborhood could come in and at any point, unless you paid that fee. You could use the place for free, but anybody from the neighborhood could also use at the same time. But if you paid, then it was yours. Excuse me. So sorry. Scotty wants to know if you're ready to be the chairperson in 2024 for the Clash, right? That's what he says. For the chairperson for the Clash.
No, sir.
You thinking about it? Is Scotty thinking about stepping down? And
yeah, he's been. I think the past 2 years he's told me I'm going to be the next chairperson, and I said no, thank you.
You will. Well, unless you have the kid. Then.
That's my main thing. Yeah, I don't want to like commit to something like that and then have a kid come on like, hey, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Maybe once they're a little bit older.
Maybe.
Favorite sandwich? Yeah, that's Eric Y Rock's question. Is what's your favorite sandwich?
So this is actually a newly discovered one for me as a couple weeks ago. So there's a guy at work, he gets a bunch of people together, and we order from this literally like a little shack on the side of the road. It's a Mexican market, but they also do food there. And I just recently discovered that I am in love with tortas with lengua, which is cow tongue. And it is delicious. You ever have a torta?
No.
It's
And I
just,
do like Mexican food very much. Yeah.
oh, it's amazing. It's huge bun, all toasted, and a couple different meats on it. But normally the guy doesn't offer lengua, but I've requested it, and he actually did it. But have you ever had cow tongue?
No, I don't. It just looks wrong to me.
Well, if you get past the part of that, like the mental part of it, it is delicious. But
Yeah.
it just all this. I'm trying to think what's all even on it. Like, there's so much crap on these sandwiches, but it is amazing. Hands down, my favorite sandwich of all time.
Cow tongue just seems like the texture and consistency would be like liver.
I've never had liver, but it's extremely tender.
Yeah. It's not like chewy really or rubbery at all. And
I don't think it. That's a couple other people asked me that too, and now this is my
yeah.
only experience eating it. So I don't know if this guy's just like really good at preparing it or what, or
Yeah.
if I'm just not or if I'm just not experiencing what everybody else is experiencing with it. But it's delicious.
Here's the thing. I will try any type of food. It doesn't matter. I will try it. Well, I'm not going to eat monkey brains, like, how they cut I mean, within reason. Come on, we do a thing we used to. We haven't done it in a while. We call it Festivus, like from Seinfeld,
Mhm.
Festivus for the rest of us, February here sucks, right? It's just horrible. It's a crappy month. It's just snowy and cold and dark. So usually the last week of February, we would have Festivus where we would just we would do a fear factor eating thing where we bring all different kinds of food in and see who could eat all of them, and just different, just hang out. We do a secret Santa, so there was a present for everybody, and just to make the month a little bit better. And I would always, every time for the fear factor portion, I would eat all the stuff, no problem. I would just doesn't matter. And so I don't know if you've ever had beer cheese. Now there's different types of beer cheese, right? There's like a more solid one, and there's one that's more like a spread. The beer cheese that we used to get here, there was a little local cheese place, was the stinkiest stuff you've ever smelled. It smelled horrible. It was disgusting. You open it up and you're like, oh God. I mean, it was bad. I tasted it for our fear factor thing, and I sort of started to crave it a little bit. So I ate the whole thing, and I was like, you know what? I started eating it on the regular. I'll eat any normal food. I will at least give it a try. So
Yeah.
if I ever come down there, you can treat me to one of those sandwiches.
On beer cheese, Tara loves it, but I've only ever tried it one time from this. It's like a bar near us. Well, they're closed now, but I don't like the taste of beer, and I don't know if it's just because of how much I dislike the taste of beer, but I can just taste it in the cheese. I don't know if that's normal. She said she couldn't taste beer because she doesn't like beer either, but loves beer cheese. But just the smallest little hint of it, I couldn't stand it. The taste of that beer cheese.
I don't think the stuff we got really had a flavor to it, really. I honestly don't remember. And back then I did, drink a little bit, a lot on certain days. So maybe I was just so used to it at the time. Next up is Brookley's freaky question. So that question, again, is part of the standard. It's a traditional question. Do you have any weird physical traits? Are your knees on backwards? Can you flip your eyelids? Can you do any weird physical things?
Nothing really. I guess the only thing I think of is like I can like shake my eyeballs back and forth. I don't know if that's like a normal thing people can do, but I can like shake them really fast. But that's about it.
Can we see it? If
I can get it on camera. Can you see it at all or no?
Just a little bit. It just looks like you're staring very.
Yeah, it just. I didn't know if it'd pick up on there or not. I know when I do the people like in person, apparently they notice it easily and freaks them the hell out. But other than that,
feel like you were hitting on me.
I mean, maybe I was. I mean, you're a handsome human being.
I've seen people that can do that though. There's that one actor. He's a little bit heavy set. He's been in a bunch of different stuff, but his eyes always do that. He has some kind of illness where his eyes are always moving like this. And it drives me crazy. And I guess he doesn't see anything, but yeah, that is a little freaky. That's a good one.
So he doesn't notice that his eyes are going back and forth like that.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't. It doesn't affect his vision, but maybe it's because his brain has adjusted to it or something over all the years or whatever. Yeah, but they're always.
What I'm doing, I can't see shit.
George is here, Mexicali, and he says tortas do rule the world.
Oh yeah, I would die for tortas.
I've never had one, and again, I lived in Arizona for most of my life. I don't remember them.
Even if you don't get it, if you don't want, no, it doesn't sound like people normally make it with lengua. Like I guess that's more like a taco thing, but you can get it with like asada or carnitas. I mean, there's no bad choice for a torta. Like any meat's good in it.
I would love some. I think I need to. I think George needs to come up here and take me somewhere so I can. Let's see. So I'm scrolling down again. If you have any questions for Blake, please do the @Rico stand so it pops out. Patty says, I love cow tunnel. I think she meant tongue because cow tunnel sounds like something totally different.
Maybe that's good too. You never know.
Silver Creek says, if it's done right, the tongue is fall apart meat. It's lean muscle.
It's so good.
A lot of people know what it is. Alishon, tuna eyeball. I'd probably try a tuna eyeball. Stephen P., hope you guys are having fun. Stephen and Jenna and the kids are at Disney World right now. So, Mikam, hello, our friend from Sweden. He says, I want to send you some Swedish surströmming right away. Fermented herring. Oh, yeah. Stinks like nothing you experience. Bring it on. Fermented fish, bring it on. Because I love like anchovies. I know they're not fermented, but like anchovies and sardines and all that kind of stuff. Jesus Christ. I would definitely try it. Yeah. Patty. Tara's here. She said, tell him about your fish tattoo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So I wake up. I don't even remember what. I crashed like hard as hell this past Friday night. Like, I mean, I was out by like, she tells me I was out by like 8 o'clock. I don't know. But I wake up the next morning, I make up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, got to go to the bathroom. And I sleep without a shirt on. So I walk and there's a mirror on our door. I look down, there's like a little like heart, like Sharpie on like my chest. I'm like, okay, whatever. She got a marker out. But Christ, I walk up to the door. You remember the book Rainbow Fish? Like the kids book? It had that
I've never seen it.
In the front.
I've only seen it looking for rainbow fish books. I never had read it or anything until I was doing a search for books on rainbow fish and saw that kid's book. So I don't know anything about it.
Well, I walk up to the door and like on my side, and I'm talking like it was a big ass fish. She colored it all these different colors. I mean, it was really good. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was really well done. I couldn't be mad. But yeah, this just like the huge portion of my side, just this big colorful fish. It's still extremely faded. It's still kind of there, but it was like I came back in the bathroom 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just like, so I saw your fish, and she just starts like laughing, like while like half asleep. I said, it's really good. And then like down my leg, she drew like a what the hell? Let's think something might so there an S is on there. She wrote like meow, but like put like she was playing hangman with it or something. I don't know. She's a trip for sure. But yeah, I mean, it was a really well done version of Rainbow Fish just down my side and all these different Sharpies. So
you must have really been out then if you didn't even feel that. You would think that would tickle.
If I sleep, I am dead to the world.
I'm so 100%. Jealous. I'm jealous.
She is too.
I go to sleep. I mean, you said 8 o'clock. You went to bed early, and there's a lot of nights I go to bed at 8 o'clock. Quite often, I go to bed at 8 o'clock. But again, I'm an old man, so I'm allowed. But anything happens, and I'm awake. One time, when my oldest son still lived at home, his friend Mitchell had spent the night, and Mitchell had gone for a run first thing in the morning, and our windows were open, and it sounded like he was right outside our window. So all I heard was somebody running like right next to my window. So I just went, hey, just screamed, hey, like I was getting up. I was going to stop this person for whatever they're doing. They're running by my, I didn't know they were running. It just sounded like somebody messing around with my window. So I was like, hey, and I was getting ready, go get somebody's ass. And I look out the window and Mitchell's like, what? Yeah, I scared this shit. But just hearing him, and he was on the road. He wasn't even by our window, but just hearing him running on the road woke me up. Everything wakes me up. So are you going to get a fish tattoo?
I don't know yet or not. I still
you should get that one. It's got meaning.
That's what she has it on her phone too. I have thought about like maybe I should just go hurry up while it's still fresh, just get it all done. But
yeah,
I don't know. I still have a lot of body to cover. So
I was going to do duckweed, but somebody told me Rachel O'Leary has duckweed. I was just going to put duckweed like here, like I had put my hand in the tank
Oh,
So
that'd be
I
cool,
told
actually.
but somebody said Rachel O'Leary already has that. So I don't know. I don't want to copy.
She has a lot of tattoos, so I'm not even sure what else she
Yeah.
has.
How many do you have then? I mean, you talked about this one. How many do you
And
have?
then
Well, your arm is sort of
just
sleeved, so
that's it. Just the neck and the sleeve.
gotcha.
That's it for now.
I've uh, I've only got 5, but my daughter has like 20, and she's got a sleeve going on too right now, and she's got another one coming at the end of the month. She's doing another one. She has a lot of Halloween stuff too. They're very cool stuff. Victor wants to know if you wear a sombrero when you have tacos.
I mean, I don't think there's any other way to eat tacos, is there?
I do have a sombrero.
I do not. I should
do.
have a sombrero.
Yeah, I do have a sombrero. It's great on those times when sometimes some of the medications I used to take would really affect going in the sun. Methotrexate, when you go into the sun, makes you very susceptible to burning. So I used to wear that big sombrero because it was huge. And yeah. Oinky wants to know if you could pick a place to live, money's no object, where would you go? You've sort of answered this already.
It's just like I missed that. Was it just like the visit or
to live? So is there some place? I mean, I didn't really get into that. Have you been in Pennsylvania your entire life?
Yep, I'm in a little town, not so little town anymore. Now the developers got their hands on about 15 years ago, but called Hanover, Pennsylvania. So they're actually called the snack food capital of the world.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. But yeah, that's where I've been my whole life.
Pretzels, Hanover pretzels, aren't there?
So there's Utz that does all that. Snyder's. Have you ever had Snyder's pretzels?
Yeah.
We have, I think it's pronounced Ouija. A place makes soft pretzels called Ravona. Or they actually make the hard pretzels too. They're called Ravona. They were actually featured on How It's Made. And then like right up the road, about maybe 20 minutes up north, we got Martin's. We're actually in it's weird. They call this little like strip going up called the Pretzel Belt. Goes from like here to like Lancaster or something like that. Yeah, it's all about snack foods around here.
See, but those little cracker type things aren't pretzels to me. Those are just perverted crackers. Pretzels are big, soft things that has the big chunks of salt. You can put mustard on them, and that's a big doughy. That's a pretzel.
Perverted crackers. I will never call them pretzels again. They will always be perverted crackers to me. Thank you for that.
They're just perverted crackers. They're all twisted in knots. So yeah, where would you like to live? She says, for me, the highest terrace apartment in New York City and Bermuda. So would you like to live in a big city? Would you like to live in
no.
Same here. Yeah. I've done it, and I don't like it.
I really enjoyed Tennessee when we were down there. I'd like to live on we went to like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, but I'd like to live on like the outskirts where it's not like in the city or any big populated areas, but just like when you actually get out into like bumfuck nowhere, like it's just beautiful. I love that. Yeah, I don't like having neighbors. I don't like looking out and seeing another house or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand people people that I graduated with moving to like big cities like Philadelphia, New York. I'm like, man, like you guys are nuts. I don't know how you could do it.
I don't either, and I've done it. Like I said, when you're younger, it's I think it's better. Especially, I think even when you have young kids, I think it's better. I think there's a lot more opportunities for those younger kids. But I absolutely hate it. I'm with you. I mean, we do have neighbors close, but most of the people that live around us are cottagers. So they only come, they're gone. They're snowbirds. They leave for the winter. They're here some of them only come for like a month in the middle of summer, and that's the only time we ever see them.
Oh, so wow.
In the winter and the fall, it's very, very quiet. So, Mickham, I expect you to send me some of that if it's canned or something. If you can, I expect to have, I don't know how to pronounce it, surströmming. Do you or anyone you know have a tattoo on their actual nipple?
Oh, sorry. I did not realize my dog was outside. It scared the shit out of me. Oh, my God. The 100-pound pit bull, to see him walk up to the door, I had no idea what that was. All right. Anyway.
You have 2 dogs?
Nope. Just one.
Just the one. What's his name?
Tyson.
I remember seeing him in something, but what's I going to... Oh, Silver Creek says, do you know anybody with a tattoo on their nipple? If not, now you do, because he's got one on his nipple.
Dude, props to you, man. Because I think I'd rather get my neck done again than try to get something on my nipple. How does the ache hold well? Because I know like certain spots it just doesn't hold. God no, ugh.
Yeah, it does sound very, very painful.
I know guys that have them pierced, and I'm like, dude, I don't. But getting it tattooed, I couldn't imagine someone there working ink into my nipple. Like that's no bueno. No, thank you.
No. On my Dungeons and Dragons character, we play Dungeons and Dragons on Monday nights. We stream it, and
Okay.
The dungeon master used AI and pictures of us to create pictures of our character. And my character's got 6 fingers and no nipples. Because I don't have a shirt on. I'm a big barbarian, and just there's no nipples. So we come up with a backstory that a wizard has stolen my nipples. So I'm on a quest to recover my nipples. But I have 6 fingers as well.
So you have a bargaining chip. You can offer one of your fingers per nipple. So I mean,
there we go.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I am well known for offering a finger now and then. He said the nipple sucked, and yes, the ink holds. Got it done when I was 19 to get my legs done for free. Artist never got to tattoo a nipple, so I volunteered as tribute.
Okay, now if you're offering a full like leg and change, okay, yeah, I would definitely let somebody tattoo my nipples for free, because that shit is not cheap.
No.
So yeah, I would definitely be down.
I think we're running out of questions. We still got about 15 minutes, but if there are no more questions, if we got nothing else to talk about, then we can say goodnight to everybody. I'll give it just another minute, just in case, because it is a little bit of lag. Keystone Clash. Anything that you would like to tell us that you're excited about for the Clash this year?
I'm just my biggest thing of the Clash. I'm just excited to see everybody. I don't even when I wasn't on the board, like going to the events like that, I was never as excited to like go see the speakers, go to the auction, go to the shows. I was just to see people you don't normally see. So that's definitely my biggest thing that I'm excited for.
Yeah, me too, 100%. I do want to see the speakers. In fact, this year I think there's some great speakers that I'm really looking forward to. Kelly, Dr. Foreman, Dan's Fish, Bentley Pasco. See, I'm going to leave people out. Who else is up there?
Andreas Tonke, Jennifer Williams. Oh my God, what's the guy's name from Mountain Chicago? Jason Adams.
Yes, Prime Time. Yes, Jason. So all of those people are people that although last year I did get to talk to Ted Coletti, Dr. Coletti.
On the panel.
Really, looking forward to the speakers this year. I didn't actually go and see any of the speakers last year. You had some good ones, but it was most of the topics weren't things I was super interested in. One of the speakers I really didn't care for much at all.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback on that one.
Okay. This year, though, I'm excited, and I think I will probably go to see more of the speakers. But it is, like you said, though, it's all about, we're coming in Thursday. Well, now it's up in the air again because my wife has to have some surgery, and we're not sure how much time she'll be down and stuff. It just depends. But the room right now is currently Thursday through Sunday. We'll be leaving Monday morning.
Okay.
So Sunday night, after everything's done, is the time we can just sit down and, I want to have dinner with a few people and just talk, just have a good time. And the parking lot, I noticed Patty said, unless there's speakers in the parking lot. The parking lot the last 2 years has been a blast. We just go out there. We're not crazy. We go out there. We got some lawn chairs and we're sitting, and we're enjoying some beverages and just getting to know each other. And it's just so much fun. So much fun.
It sounds like it.
You should come out. You should come outside. And, do you drive home each night? How far away?
No. We stay there. It's about, depending on traffic, I can get there on a really, really good day. I get there in about an hour and a half. Okay. Otherwise, about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours one time. So it's not too bad. But yeah, we definitely stay there the whole week.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickham said it's a forbidden item on flights, packed in can under high pressure. But you might have some cans delivered by boat on IKEA. Oinky says it's only 122 days until the Clash. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end it then. Thanks everybody for joining us. Blake, thanks so much. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Um, yeah, I don't know what else I was going to say. Thanks everybody. We'll see you. I don't know. So this Saturday we're going to do another focus on because Skipper, we don't do focus ons on the weeks that Skipper does the auction. We take that week off, but he did that this past weekend. So this coming up week, we'll do another focus on. I don't know who our guest is going to be coming up, but I do need more guests. So if anybody would like to come up and do this with me and hang out, my email is at the top of the screen up there, rico@ricostand.com. Please just shoot me an email. Say, yes, please add me to the list. I've got about 10 people on my list now. But I need more, and there's no requirements, right? I don't care if you have any content at all. I don't care if you have a channel, so to speak. Everybody here has to have a channel because you have an account on YouTube. I don't care if you have a single subscriber. If you're a part of this community, and you are, if you're here, I want to interview you. So please send me an email. Real quick, Blake and Rico, have a good weekend. That's from Victor. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you guys later. When are we going to see you again? Do you have any? So you're not doing the Monday nights right now. You said it was too busy with work, so you don't have any planned streams coming up.
No.
Okay.
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Hopefully soon. So we'll see.
All right. See you guys.